is. We had to wake him up from his long winter's hibernation for this one, a real big stinker of the week for Aroma.
Big movie, big skunk. Aroma, you should work out on a bicycle or something. You're putting on a lot of weight. I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to our next film, City Heat, because it features Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds for the first time together in the same film. But boy, have I got bad news for their fans. City Heat may turn out to be the worst of the Christmas movies because it doesn't take a whole lot to be better than this junk, which is an incomprehensible, needlessly violent, and terribly unfunny detective story set in the 1930s featuring Eastwood as a cop, Reynolds as a detective. They formerly were friends, but now they're feuding, as you can see in this scene where Eastwood refuses to help his one-time buddy, now being chased by mobsters.
Evening, Lieutenant. Louis. Coffee? Yeah.
Hey. Somebody left the cage door open, huh?
Archie, how you doing?
It's good. A couple of cupcakes. I guess that's what you ordered.
Lieutenant, aren't you gonna do anything?
How about a refill? You can take care of yourself. I'm not disturbing you, am I? I got a situation here. You back? What are you cooking at?
Don't spill coffee on his sleeve. That's kind of cute maybe when Eastwood gets that twitch and gets angry. He repeats that scene much later in the movie. He has to because that's the only thing that works in the film. But in between those two scenes, we have two big stars stuck in a story that simply does not make itself clear. I think what's going on, and I'm not sure on this, I'll check with Roger in a second, I think what's going on is that Reynolds is trying to find some bookkeeper's records that some mobsters want, but Eastwood suspects that Reynolds may be in cahoots with the mobsters, so he's looking to bust him. I think that's what's going on, and I saw the whole film. I suppose what City Heat was trying to be is some kind of variation on Robert Redford and Paul Newman in The Sting, but that film, The Sting, had style. With City Heat, we might as well be watching modern-day cartoon representations of Burt Reynolds and Clint Eastwood walk through a film that doesn't know what it is. It's not funny, it's much too violent, and it doesn't make any sense. And frankly, I was shocked by how bad City Heat is.
I was shocked as well, Gene. I was sitting there looking at the screen in stunned disbelief. I know the screenplay was by Blake Edwards, who took his name off the screenplay. They brought in Richard Benjamin after they fired Edwards as the director. Benjamin has made a couple good movies, including My Favorite Year.
Yeah.
Then you have Eastwood's track record, which recently is real strong, and Reynolds, who is uneven, but has a lot of power on the screen in the right role. A complete, shocking mess. This movie is easily one of the most disappointing major pictures
now, maybe there
in
is
5 years.
Maybe when they have two big stars, because we've seen this with Dolly Parton and Reynolds, and Dolly Parton and
Stallone. It's by
Stallone.
committee. Everybody has to negotiate on every line to make sure that everything is agreeable to everyone, and at the end, nobody has achieved anything.
They never give them characters to play. The Sting had two characters. They were not exactly like Newman and Redford had ever played before. But no, here we got cartoon Burt Reynolds playing a very modern-day Burt Reynolds, like he's just on the Johnny Carson show, and Clint Eastwood doing his same, you know, tough guy act, you know, don't spill it or I'm going to blow you away, and there's nothing in between.
It's a real wrong number. Now let's take another look at this week's movies. We both vote thumbs down on Beverly Hills Cop, which wastes both Eddie Murphy and a great idea on an idiotic crime story. A split decision for 2010. Neither one of us thinks it deserves comparison with the great classic 2001, but as an outer space adventure, I thought that it was slick and entertaining. 2 thumbs up for Stranger Than Paradise, the funny slice of life about some Hungarian misfits seeing America. And 2 big thumbs down for the shockingly bad stinker of the week, City Heat, with Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds in one of the worst movies either one of them has ever made, and that does include some bad movies.
The Cannonball Run pictures. You know, I almost would have rather seen Cannonball Run 2 than City Heat.
Now that means this is a bad movie.
Good, I've communicated my point. That's it for this week. Coming up next time, we'll review more of the big holiday movies, including Dune, a science fiction epic about the forces of good and evil struggling to control a distant world, as they always do.